Hey, this is Dr. Rachel Ferraro with Aviate Medical, and I am here with Amy Hoover, who was the 2022 National Flight Instructor of the Year. She's also been teaching backcountry flying since 1992 and is a university professor of aviation at Central Washington. I am so excited to have her talking to us today and to this group specifically about backcountry flying, as she has extensive experience in surviving a backcountry accident, which she details in her book. So thank you for joining us, Amy, and let's get started.
All right, thank you very much. And I understand just a little tidbit trivia. I was a member of the 180-185 Club for about 8 years when I had a Cessna 180. Great airplane, love it. Of course, I've loved all my airplanes. I currently fly an American Champion Scout. It's not the Scout on the cover, but kind of similar airplane. So thanks for inviting me here. And I understand there's been some discussion already about some things to do after an off-airport landing. Let's just put it that way, in an emergency, an unplanned off-airport landing. So a couple things I wanted to point out that we discussed. We've talked about survival vests, survival kits. I personally wear a survival vest. When I'm on wheels on a land plane, the vest is a little different than when I'm in my float plane because it's a different environment. In fact, I
Right.
might pack the things that are on my body differently if I'm in summer, if I'm in winter, if I'm in a desert environment, if I'm more a maritime environment. So that's kind of a personal thing. And I know there's been some discussion already of that, but you can personalize it. But I think the most important thing that I keep with me at all times attached to my person is my inReach device, my
Yeah.
satellite device, because that's what's going to get you found and rescued. So a little bit about, I did survive a midair collision in July 7th, 2014, and it was right outside the Frank Church Wilderness area. What happened was another aircraft was in the area, although I did not know that aircraft was in the area because the pilot was reporting incorrectly. They were not in the area where I thought they were. The plane came up underneath me, hit my aircraft, disabled it. The other aircraft crashed. I had to do an off-airport landing in kind of a little swampy area, and I wanted to emphasize some things. And if you get into our book in chapter 9, I actually analyzed some of this. But one of the things I talk about is that it's a mind game. It's your mindset. Because I had 2 minutes to get on the ground with a disabled aircraft. So I needed to focus on the job, shed distractions, because there's a lot of distractions, figure out where I was going. And one of the things is when you look around and you figure out where you're going, a lot of people, they'll try something and then they'll change their mind, pick a place, go for it, set your airplane up, fly it in. Don't, stall the airplane and crash it. Fly it in as best you can and stay focused and don't give up. It really is a mental game because you're going to have shock that's going to be, playing games with your head where you might, there a lot of the stuff that's been analyzed for combat soldiers, for example, you go into so much shock that you don't function. So you have to push through that and you have to really play the mental game of I'm staying focused, focus on the task at hand, don't give up. And of course, once you're on the ground, now you're in a different mode because you're probably injured. I had injuries. Your passengers might be injured. I know there's been talk about that here from some of the other contributors. But the key is you want to get rescued. Even though you might be able to survive out there, you may not know how well you're going to do, and you may not know the extent of your injuries. Personally, I didn't know if I had head injuries. I thought I might be concussed because I had a lot of G's, and my G meter on my airplane showed that. Fortunately, the airplane did not catch fire. I used some of the stuff in my survival kit, and I was also, since we didn't have ADS-B in 2014, really, so I ended up relying on radio communications, even all the way to airliners above me, scrambled the helicopters, and I ended up getting life flighted out. But a lot of it had to do with me staying aware of the situation I was in and not getting distracted and not just giving up. I ended up doing some things like taking photography and talking to my phone to help myself stay alert and awake and focus on the task. So again, there's a lot of stuff that we could talk about, but I know we discussed that you can't really overestimate the need to practice emergency procedures, be prepared for them, not just physically with your vest and all that, but mentally. Like all the time when you're flying, think, what if something happened right now? how would I deal with it? What would I do? And how would I be able to stay focused and not give up?